Okay, so I recently released a couple of scripts on making NixOS a tad easier, and I thought, well, I'm sure I can do the same for Slackware. So on my GitLab page, I've released a couple of scripts for Slackware where I've given the instructions on what to do, and I've released it for the 64-bit Slackware 15 and Slackware Current, and of course Slackware Current is currently the most up-to-date software on Slackware, but it's more recommended to still use Slackware 15. In any case, I've created 4 different scripts here. I've got a setup script, which is basically makes it easier to finish installing Slackware, updating the mirror packages, actually updating Slackware, and of course automatically installing SPO PKG and SPO tools, so you can install applications quite easier. So what I've got is a virtual machine here of Slackware, and as you can see here, I've got what I've done is I've done a full installation of Slackware, and I haven't done any other configuration after that. So it's basically after you install Slackware, you reboot, you get to the screen. So if you do a full installation of Slackware, it comes with Git available. So what I'm going to do now is clone the repo. So I'm going to do git clone https gitlab.com it's arch-linux slackware scripts.git. It's going to clone the repo, and if I do a list here, you can see I've got the Slackware scripts. I'm going to change into the Slackware scripts directory, and I'm going to go into Slackware 15 because I've installed Slackware 15, and to see all my scripts here, so I'm going to do chmod +x asterisk, which means to select all files .sh. So I'm saying make every file in this directory that ends with sh executable, and you'll see of course it's changed the color to green. So what am I going to do? Well, the first thing is I want to configure Slackware to automatically ask for a new user, normal user, add it to a group, and of course to enable the GUI out of the box, right? So normally we'd have to do all the scripts like I've shown you in steps and do it manually and edit config files. In this case, I can just go /setup script. Tells you thank you for using the Gosh on Slackware new use and default run it script. Enter the user you wish to add. So I'm going to say Gosh. We need to give it a password. Give it a password again. And now it tells you default run levels changed to 4 in the etc in a tab. Thank you. The script is completed. Please reboot the system. So let's do what it asks us. Let's reboot. And like magic, that makes it so much easier. I'm going to log in as a Gosh user now. Okay, first just want to fix resolution quickly. Now I'm going to open up a console, rather terminal. Let's just make this much bigger here. And the first thing we need to do is we want to update our Slackware system. So before we went to the Slack package config files, we don't need to do that. So the first thing we need to do here is to go back to root. Right. And of course, again, back into the Slackware scripts, back into Slackware 15, right? And we already made them executable earlier, so now what do we need to do? Well, we want to update the mirror that we use and the packages. So I'm going to do a update mirror, hit enter, and what it's doing now is basically, if we go above here, it would thank you for using the Gosh's Arch mirror updater, and basically what it's doing is it's updating one of the mirrors. I think in this case it's the mirrors.us.kernel. So essentially what I've done is I've uncommented that line in the configuration file, which I previously showed you how to do it manually, And basically after doing that, just doing a Slack package update quickly. So essentially what it does is it goes ahead, downloads the file list, and then once this is completed, we're going to show you how to easily update the system. So it tells you the GPG and package list has been updated, script complete, please remember to update Slackware. So how are we going to update Slackware? Well, we're going to do an update, well, we're going to do a update Slackware, going to hit enter, and what this is going to do is it's literally going to update the packages on Slackware, and once it's done, it'll go ahead and run Lilo again as well. So I'm gonna let it run here, and once it's done, I'll show you what the last script does. And remember, I showed you Slack package, Slack tools, so that you can easily install software, but it's a 2-3 step process where you need to first get the one application, download the other application, install it, configure the files so that it can do the sync correctly. Well, in this case, we can do it all at once. So we're just going to do a install SBO package and SBO tools, and it will configure SBO tools correctly as well. Then hit enter. And what it's going to do first is going to sync with the remote repo. It's going to download the repo files. As you can see, it's doing. And it's going to get to this point where it's going to ask us, do we want to install SBO tools? We're just going to hit P to proceed, hit enter. And what it's doing is installing SBO tools now that we've installed SBO package. And part of installing SBO tools will be to make sure that it syncs correctly. So what it also does as well, I've told it to update the snapshot, so that's all done. So simple SBO install VRC, and we'll just install the dependencies. Yes. And as you'll see, it automatically is now fetching it down. So SBO package and SBO tools has been installed successfully. So folks, hope this makes your experience with Slackware a little bit easier to get it up and running after you've installed it. So I'm going to say leave your comments below, and as always, thank you for watching. Bye for now.